Hanaz Writers. Podcast 34. How AI May Change the Future Relationship Between Readers and Stories, and What This Means for Writers. Introduction. Welcome back to the Hanaz Writers podcast. In our previous episode, we explored how artificial intelligence may change the future relationship between readers and stories, and what that transformation could mean for writers. We discussed how storytelling may become more interactive, more personalized, and more connected than ever before. But today we want to focus on something more practical, something that directly affects the daily creative life of writers. How can AI help writers work faster, smarter, and more collaboratively? Because for many writers, creativity is not only about inspiration, it is also about process, planning, organizing, developing ideas, managing projects, refining stories, and maintaining momentum over time. This entire creative process is what we call a workflow. And today, AI is transforming how those workflows operate. The traditional writing workflow. For many years, the writing process followed a familiar structure. A writer would begin with an idea, then create notes, build characters, outline the story, write drafts, edit the manuscript, and eventually prepare the work for publication. This process often required enormous amounts of time and energy, especially for independent writers managing everything alone. Writers frequently became overwhelmed by creative blocks, organizational challenges, repetitive editing tasks, long revision cycles, and this is where AI tools are beginning to change the creative landscape. Faster creative development. One of the biggest advantages of AI is speed. Not speed in replacing creativity, but speed in supporting exploration. Writers can now brainstorm ideas more quickly, test multiple concepts, explore alternative story directions, and experiment with different narrative structures without spending weeks rebuilding everything manually. AI allows writers to move more fluidly between ideas, to test possibilities before committing fully to one direction. This creates a more dynamic and efficient creative process. Smarter story organization. Another challenge many writers face is organization, especially in long-form storytelling. Managing characters, timelines, narrative arcs, world-building details. And continuity can become extremely difficult. AI tools can help writers organize and track these elements more effectively. Writers can analyze story structures, identify inconsistencies, track character development, and maintain narrative clarity across large projects. This creates smarter workflows that reduce confusion and creative fatigue. AI as a creative assistant. Many writers now use AI almost like a creative assistant, not to write stories automatically, but to support the writing process. For example, AI can help expand rough ideas, generate alternative dialogue, refine descriptions, suggest pacing improvements, explore emotional variations in scenes. This allows writers to focus more deeply on creative decision-making while reducing repetitive tasks. The writer remains the creative director. AI simply helps support the process. Collaboration between writers. Another important transformation is collaboration. Historically, writing has often been a solitary activity, but digital creative environments are changing that. Today, writers can collaborate more easily than ever before. They can share workflows, exchange creative systems, build projects together, and experiment collectively. AI platforms can support these collaborations by helping writers coordinate ideas, maintain consistency, and organize large creative projects more efficiently. This creates a more connected creative ecosystem. Creative experimentation. Without fear, one of the most valuable benefits of AI-supported workflows is the freedom to experiment. Many writers hesitate to test bold ideas because they fear wasting time. But AI allows writers to explore possibilities rapidly. They can test unusual structures, alternative endings, different narrative tones, and new storytelling formats. If something does not work, adjustments can happen quickly. This encourages creative curiosity, and curiosity is often the foundation of innovation. The balance between speed and creativity. Of course, speed alone is not the goal. A faster workflow means very little if creativity disappears. The purpose of AI is not to rush storytelling. It is to remove unnecessary friction from the creative process, to give writers more energy for imagination, more space for experimentation, and more freedom to focus on emotional depth and meaningful storytelling. The human element remains essential. The role of Hanaz writers. Off. AI. At Hanaz Writers, we believe creative workflows should feel empowering, not overwhelming. Our platform is designed to help writers move through different stages of creativity more effectively. From idea generation, to story expansion, to script refinement, to creative experimentation. But beyond the tools themselves, we want to support writers in building sustainable and enjoyable creative systems. Because writing should not feel like constant struggle. Technology should help writers create with greater clarity and confidence. The future of creative workflows. Looking ahead, creative workflows will likely become even more intelligent and collaborative. AI systems may help writers manage entire story universes, coordinate collaborative projects, adapt stories across multiple formats, and maintain long-term creative consistency. But even as technology evolves, one thing remains unchanged. Stories still begin with human imagination. AI supports the process, but creativity begins with the writer. Final thoughts. As we conclude episode 34, we want to encourage writers to think carefully about their creative workflows, not just what they create, but how they create. Because the future of storytelling will not belong only to the fastest writers. It will belong to writers who know how to combine creativity, curiosity, and intelligent tools effectively. Writers who remain open to experimentation, writers who continue learning, and writers who use technology to strengthen, not replace, their creative voice. In episode 35, we will explore a very exciting topic. We will introduce the new version 2 of Hanaz Writers AI, along with the free limited version of Hanaz Writers AI, and discuss how writers can use these tools to begin exploring AI-powered creativity completely free of charge. Until next time, keep writing, keep experimenting, and keep building the future of storytelling with Hanaz Writers AI.